0, which would be midnight. Another was given right here, half an hour later, half an hour later, half an hour later, half an hour later. And basically, with continued dosing until you had given 40, until you given 10 milliliters, which is an entire ampule. You would be able to stack these doses up so that when the levels start to drop, they continue to drop, and you would see this number that was observed on autopsy.
And in this simulation, did you set out with one of the variables, or the assumption of one of the variables being that it was one vial of lorazepam?
No. In this simulation, the only number I have to work with is the 0.169. Most simulations, you know the dose. It's on the medical record. There is no medical record. So I can't simulate what was done because there is no medical record. All I have is the concentration on autopsy. So I set out to see, is there a dosing regimen, a sequence of regular doses consistent with this time period when Dr. Murray was trying to get Michael Jackson off to sleep, that would have generated the number seen on autopsy? And the answer is yes, there is a dosing regimen that explains this.
And I want to show you People's 137. It's an empty lorazepam vial that was previously testified to. Whoops. I'm not going to change that now that it's working. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may. Do you want us to put on the lights?
That's fine.
Oh, we should, because we're away from the chart for a minute.
Showing you what was earlier marked People's 137. You recognize that as an empty lorazepam vial?
Yes, it is.
And what is the concentration, what is the contents of the vial, assuming obviously it had been full?
So this is a vial which contains 10 milliliters of drug, and each milliliter of drug has 4 milligrams in it. So 4 milligrams per milliliter, the same as a cc. 4 milligrams per milliliter times 10 milliliters is 40 milligrams. So there's 40 milligrams of drug inside this empty vial. There were inside that vial before it was removed.
And again, as you described with the propofol vials, it has the same rubber stopper and metal or aluminum seal around it?
Correct.
Then this simulation, as represented in the slide on the screen, does reach the 0.169 femoral blood at about the noon hour if this dosage was given.
Yes, it reaches the correct level that we have from autopsy, and it's consistent with the quantity of drug in a single vial of lorazepam.
Now, you're familiar through your research and your expertise in this area regarding lorazepam and its basically its molecular structure?
Yes, I am.
And is it actually found in 2 different forms?
Correct. There's lorazepam, which is the drug, and then there's the metabolite, the thing that's produced by the liver when lorazepam goes through the liver. And that's called lorazepam glucuronide because the liver attaches a little sugar to the lorazepam so that you can send it out with your kidneys. So the liver attaches a little sugar molecule to it, and that creates lorazepam glucuronide, a metabolite of lorazepam.
And looking at this slide, Dr. Shafer, first to the left, this molecule labeled lorazepam, and then to the right side, lorazepam glucuronide. can you kind of just describe for us in simple terms what we're looking at here?
Right. This molecule called lorazepam, that's the drug itself. That vial that I held a moment ago contained this molecule, lorazepam. That's the molecule that causes the drug effect. That's the molecule that makes you sleepy. This molecule right here, it's the same molecule. You see, you can find these various things on both molecules. This piece down here shows up down here. But it's got this right here attached to it. And what that is that's a sugar molecule. So the liver attaches this sugar molecule to it, and that creates lorazepam glucuronide. Glucose being sugar. Glucuronide means with a sugar attached. So this is the drug that causes the drug effect. But this drug cannot pass out in the urine. In order to get rid of lorazepam, the liver converts it to this molecule, which doesn't have any biological activity. That molecule will not make you go to sleep. But it will go out in the urine. So the liver and the kidneys kind of work together to get rid of lorazepam, this being the lorazepam metabolite here.
And going then to this slide, so lorazepam, as you indicated, this molecule labeled lorazepam is what we would know as the drug that has the effect on your body.
Exactly right. This is what's in this vial here. And that's the molecule that makes you sleepy.
And it's the drug, lorazepam, that was measured by the coroner's toxicology, resulting in a finding of 0.169 in the femoral
Correct.
blood.
When the coroner measured lorazepam and found 0.169, this is what the coroner measured. And in our own research at Stanford, when we measure lorazepam, this is what we measure.
Now, going forward then, lorazepam glucuronide, you said, is the metabolite. And can you kind of explain what is shown here with the going from the lorazepam, the drug, and it being processed into lorazepam glucuronide, the metabolite? Could you just explain simply that process?
So the drug, which is seen here just a little bit as a ghost, what happens is it goes through the liver, and the liver attaches this glucose molecule to it. And when this glucose molecule is attached to the lorazepam, it first makes it so it's inactive. It doesn't make you sleepy. So the molecule is inactive, but additionally, because of this glucose, this molecule can go out in the urine. So the liver converts lorazepam to lorazepam glucuronide.
Now, did you also have an opportunity to review the defense testing results from Pacific toxicology related to lorazepam in the stomach?
Yes, I did.
And I have defense exhibit. I'm going to switch over to the Elmo. Deputy. Showing you what was earlier marked defense, I believe it's GG. And I'm actually going to mark the People's copy. I believe it's People's 218, Your Honor.
Next, 218. This is the same as GG, but for
Well,
your purpose.
the copy we received has additional handwriting on it. Showing you People's 218 with the copy provided to the people has urine crossed out. Do you see that? Dr. Shafer?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. But going with either one as to the findings, I'll show you People's 218. Now, and then, again, this is from PAC Tox or Pacific Toxicology, showing gastric contents 634 nanograms per milliliter. Is that accurate?
Correct.
And in order to determine what Pacific Toxicology was testing for, were you able to obtain a copy of their procedure manual?
Through you, yes.
Did you actually request it of Pacific Toxicology?
Yes, I did.
Did they provide it to you?
No.
And did I subsequently get you a copy of their standard operations procedure document?
Yes.
I'd like to ask that I believe it's a 10-page document, Your Honor, be marked People's 219 for identification.
Yes.
Now, showing you what was marked, let me ask you first, People's 218, you see where it's noted in Pacific Toxicology's test that there's a positive finding, lorazepam detected 634 nanograms per milliliter, test performed on gastric contents. It also lists to the left the procedure was through benzodiazepines, apparently urine, but that's crossed out. Do you see all that?
Yes, I do.
And once you obtained the standard operations procedure from Pacific Toxicology, were you able to conclude whether they were testing for lorazepam the drug or both lorazepam the drug and the metabolite, which you refer to as the glucuronide?
Yes, I was.
And going to the first page of People's 219, this, again, Pacific Toxicology, entitled Standard Operations Procedure. Does this first paragraph specify that their results of 634 nanograms per milliliter actually included both the drug and the metabolite?
Yes.
And can you explain to us what is shown in this document that revealed that to you?
It's the very first sentence of the document. Here's the word lorazepam. I'm going to skip the other benzodiazepines and just read that word as I read the sentence. The benzodiazepine lorazepam is recovered from urine by solid liquid extraction following enzyme hydrolysis of conjugates with beta-glucuronidase. So this was done after enzyme hydrolysis of conjugates with beta-glucuronidase.
And what does that mean?
Beta-glucuronidase converts the metabolite, the glucuronide, back to lorazepam. Beta-glucuronidase removes the sugar. And when you remove the sugar, you have lorazepam again. So the very first sentence of this document says that they first took the contents that they were measuring, removed the sugar from all of the metabolites, and then measured it for lorazepam.
Now, then, based on your receipt of their procedure and showing what was tested, both the lorazepam and including the metabolite, in this diagram, then, as you indicated, these two separate molecules, their results of 634 nanograms per milliliter actually includes both the drug, as depicted in this slide on the left, plus the glucuronide